Bonjour and welcome to the second week of French Beginners course. For this week, I plan to cover the second chapter and third chapter from Bon Voyage and second chapter and hopefully third chapter from Français Interactif. Alors, let's get right into it. So the second chapter of Français Interactif, from the very beginning of the course, from the first chapter of both Bon Voyage and Français Interactif, we were introduced to places, and actually your self-introduction required that you tell where you're coming from or other information that contain location. In the second chapter of Français Interactif, voila, we have more information about continents, countries, nationalities, languages, some adverbs and some prepositions referring to places. Bon, let's see some of the vocabulary first. It's broken down very nicely. It has a fiche d'identité. Don't forget that you can always listen to the audio, which I encourage you very much to do. Alors, when we introduce ourselves or when we have to fill out a fiche d'identité, identification form, we usually have to put our nom de famille, prénom, âge, nationalité, résidence actuelle, profession, passe-temps préféré. Question personnelle. Comment vous appelez-vous? Quel âge avez-vous? Quelle est votre nationalité? Vous êtes d'où? Où habitez-vous? Que faites-vous dans la vie? Quels sont vos passe-temps préférés? Now here we see a pattern. We have this, besides the interrogative questions, interrogative words, comment and où that we've already seen in the structures. Comment vous appelez-vous? Vous venez d'où? Tu viens d'où? Où habitez-vous? There's another structure, quel, and we're gonna learn this week the interrogative and exclamative use of quel. As you maybe realize, that means what or how. La famille. Alors, un homme, une femme, un mari, un fiancé, une fiancée, des parents, un père, une mère, un enfant, une enfant, un fils, une fille, un fils unique, une fille unique, un frère, une sœur, des grands-parents, un grand-père, une grand-mère, un petit enfant, un oncle, une tante, un neveu, une nièce. Mots interrogatifs, interrogative words. Où, quand, qui, comment, quel, pourquoi, parce que. And now that we're supposed to know the numbers from 1 to 100, we are supposed to also know how to express the time. L'heure. Quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il? Il est 8 heures. Il est 8h10. Il est 8h15. So, be careful when we're adding, when we're expressing hour and minutes until a quarter to. It's going to be just hour and minutes with no preposition or nothing separating the two. Il est 8 heures. Il est 8h10. Okay, 10 after 8. Il est 8h10. 8h05. 8h08. Il est 8h15. Et quart. Okay, a quarter after 8. Il est 8h25. 8h25, ouais. Il est 8h30. Okay? The same fashion we're doing for 8h15, we're going to have for 8h30. Il est 8h30. Il est 8h moins... pardon, il est 9h moins 20. 9h moins 20. It's 22:09, so translated probably word for word, it would be easy to remember. Moins means minus or less in French, so that means it's 9 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock, but minus 20 minutes, right? Il est 9h moins 20. Il est 9h moins le quart, moins le quart. Il est midi. Il est midi et demi. Il est minuit. Il est 3h. And, sometimes if it's not very clear from the context, we can clarify that il est 3h du matin, de l'après-midi. Il est 7h du soir. So the moment of the day. Okay. Il est 10h. Il est 12h05. Il est 13h15. So that's the official way of saying it, but we can also say it like more the civilian way. A quarter to 1. Il est 1h15. Il est 13h35 or il est 4h moins 25. Il est 18h45 or il est 7h moins le quart. Il est 22h59. Voilà, if you want, you can also say. Il est 23h, il est 11h, moins 1 minute. Since minute, it's feminine. Minute, it's a feminine noun. Alors, passe-temps et activité. We've learned last time some expressions with the verb avoir. Okay? Some phrasal verbs, actually. Avoir besoin de, avoir envie de, avoir l'intention de. And also, last week we've learned a first group verbs that end in ER, such as chercher, trouver, qui cherche trouve. Tomber in itself means to fall, but tomber amoureux ou tomber amoureuse de means to fall in love. Embrasser, écouter de la musique, chanter, danser, aimer. Aimer quoi? Like what? Aimer la musique classique, le jazz, le hip-hop, le techno, le sport, le tennis, ainsi de suite, and so forth and so on. Préférer, adorer, détester, habiter, rester à la maison. Je déteste rester à la maison le week-end. I hate staying home on the weekend. Étudier. Lire is not a first group verb, but in the second chapter of Bon Voyage, we use it because we refer to a lot of the activities that students engage in. Oublier. Regarder la télévision, téléphoner à. Always learn the verbs with their preposition. Téléphoner à quelqu'un. Call someone. In French, it's téléphoner à. Whereas in English, it doesn't have a preposition. It's to call someone. Parler, jouer. Jouer, it's used to play au foot, au tennis, aux cartes. Jouer de la guitare, jouer du petit sport. So jouer is used for activities like sports, physical activities, involving usually the ball, or for instruments, playing instruments, pretty much like in English. Adverbs. Aussi, we've seen that last time, also. Christophe est grand et blanc. Sa sœur, Julie, est grande et blonde aussi. Maintenant, plus tard, beaucoup, peu, un peu, rarement, parfois, quelquefois, souvent, toujours, ne jamais. This is also negative, but it's an alternate form of the negative ne pas that we've learned, and that means never. Let's say I never talk to strangers. Je ne talk, parler. Je ne parle. And instead of using pas, now we're going to use jamais. The alternate is always for the second negative word, which is for the pas. Instead of pas, we can use jamais or other alternate forms. Je ne parle jamais aux personnes inconnues. And now we get to continent, countries, nationalities. Continent, pays, nationalité. So we find out, I mean, you already know because I've introduced you to this last week. Countries have gender as well. We're going to look into this right now. Alors, un continent, un pays. So let's see some of the countries and maybe we can find a pattern for how we can determine their gender. L'Afrique, and the nationality is going to be Africain, Africaine. L'Algérie, Algérien, Algérienne. We have the gender listed in parentheses, FF, feminine. That's because those two countries start with vowel and therefore l'apostrophe does not mark the gender. It's not helpful in marking the gender. So we are told those countries are feminine. Le Maroc, Marocain, Marocaine. Le Sénégal, Sénégalais, Sénégalaise. La Tunisie, Tunisien, Tunisienne. L'Amérique du Nord. Le Canada, Canadien, Canadienne. Les États-Unis, Américain, Américaine. Le Mexique, Mexicain, Mexicaine. L'Amérique du Sud. La Guyane française, Guyanais, Guyanaise. L'Asie, asiatique. La Chine, chinois, chinoise. Le Japon, japonais, japonaise. Le Vietnam, vietnamien, vietnamienne. L'Océanie. L'Australie, australien, australienne. L'Europe, européen, européenne. L'Allemagne, allemand, allemande. L'Angleterre, anglais, anglaise. La Belgique, belge. L'Espagne, espagnol, espagnol. La France, français, française. L'Italie, italien, italienne. La Suisse, suisse. And there are of course many other countries that you can practice with. Roumain, roumaine, la Roumanie, roumain, roumaine, l'Ukraine, ukrainien, ukrainienne, la Russie, russe, russe, voilà, etc. So for the gender, do we develop a pattern here? If we look at the majority of the feminine or of the countries that are marked as feminine, you see that they end in E. They end in E. And that's a rule of thumb. It doesn't matter whether they start with consonant or vowel, but as a rule of thumb, feminine countries that are feminine gender end in E mute. There are a few exceptions to that, and we have one of the exceptions here, le Mexique. There are a few exceptions. So, le Mexique, le Cambodge, le Mozambique. Voilà. Those countries are exceptions for the rule, which means that although they end in E, they are in masculine. But it's a handful of those countries that are exceptions, and you can remember them. Alors, vous vous rappelez? Le Mexique, le Cambodge, le Mozambique, le Zaïre. Those countries, although they end in E, they are masculine. For the rest of the countries ending in E mute, they're feminine in gender. So then we're left with the rest of the countries that are masculine. So as a rule of thumb, if the country ends in consonant like le Japon, or it ends in any other vowel other than E mute, like O, A, I, U, then the country is going to be of masculine gender. Le Canada, le Congo, voilà, le Vietnam, le Sénégal, ainsi de suite. I hope this clarifies a little bit. Also, since we are studying places, countries, and continents, we cannot forget about the preposition of the place. So this is what we learn now, the preposition of the place. So prepositions are used in expressions which relate where you are going, and where you are coming from. Which relate where you are going, and where you are coming from. The preposition used in such expression depends on the geographic location discussed. So, and as well, it refers also to the direction, if you're going to or you're coming from. Geographic location. We have cities. We use to go to, à, and from, de, à Paris, à Cuba, à Tahiti, de Paris, de Londres, d'Austin, de Tahiti. Okay, if the place starts with vowel, it's going to be the apostrophe. Feminine, usually ending in E for countries, states, provinces, continents, is going to be un, to go to, and de, coming from. Je vais, let's use the verb as well, to go, je vais en France. Tu habites en Californie. Il voyage en Bourgogne. Elle voyage en Europe. And to come back, let's say, rentrer is the verb to come back. Je rentre de France. Je rentre de Californie. Je rentre de Bourgogne. Je rentre d'Europe. Masculine. Countries or province, states, le Canada, le Texas. le Colorado, au Canada, au Colorado, je vais au Canada, I'm going to Canada. Je rentre du Texas, I'm coming back from Texas. Je rentre du Colorado. Masculine beginning with vowels is gonna be un for going to, just like the feminine form. But for coming back, it's gonna be des apostrophes. Il habite en Iran. He lives in Iran. Il habite en Ontario. Elle rentre d'Iran. She's coming back from Iran. Elle rentre d'Iran. And plural countries and regions, we have les États-Unis, aux États-Unis. J'habite aux États-Unis. Je rentre des États-Unis. J'habite aux États-Unis. Je rentre des États-Unis. It's not the only country that is plural. We have also the Baltic countries, les Pays-Bas, les Pays-Bas. And UK, it's called le Royaume-Uni. It's not plural, but it's le Royaume-Uni, the United Kingdom. Or, simply put, l'Angleterre. Bon. Practice as much as possible. Do not take this lightly. I understand that using a place with preposition, with the appropriate preposition to refer to whether you're going or coming back, it can be a bit daunting. But if you remember these few rules of thumb here, you will have no problems. Let's just try to practice. Just maybe 2 sentences together. Voyons. Fill in the blanks with the proper preposition. A, un, au, or au. Tix et Tammy vont passer les vacances. Now it comes. Espagne is a feminine country. They are going to spend their holidays in Spain. Okay? So, to show the location plus a feminine country is going to be the preposition un. Alors, un. Tix et Tammy vont passer les vacances en Espagne. En Espagne. And don't forget to do the enchaînement or liaison to connect the words. When the previous word, and especially if the previous word it's a preposition, and it ends in consonant or S, and the next word starts with vowel, there is this linking that makes the whole thing sound like one unit. En Espagne. Tammy et Betty étudient, they study in Austin. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Pardon. Voilà. Ah. À Austin. Edouard n'aime pas travailler. Texas. So Edward does not like to work in Texas. Now Texas is masculine, and then it's gonna be pardon, j'ai changé. I've changed the keyboard, so everything changes. Au Texas. Let's see what Texas says. Il fait beau tout le temps. Tata, France. So it's always a nice weather, or the weather is always nice in France. Il fait beau, it's nice weather. Tout le temps, all the time, always, or toujours. Il fait beau tout le temps en France. Il y a beaucoup de monuments intéressants. Mexique. Now, Mexique is one of the exceptions, although it ends in E, is a masculine country, right? So then it's going to be au Mexique and not un Mexique. Be careful. Au Mexique. Il y a beaucoup de monuments intéressants au Mexique. There are many interesting monuments in Mexico. Betty a envie de faire du shopping au Japon. Betty a envie, feels like, is in the mood for, plus infinitive verb, a envie de faire, to do. shopping. Okay, so Betty is in the mood to go shopping au Japon, to Japan, au Japon, because Japon is a masculine country. We know it because it ends in consonant. Ainsi de suite, and so forth and so on. I'll let you finish the rest. Next, I will refer to mot interrogatif, interrogative word, and we will learn how to ask questions. In French language, there are more ways of asking questions, and they refer to the level of language or the registre de langue of language that we want to appeal to. Maybe we want to speak in a polite way, maybe we want to speak in an informal way, or we just want to speak in a very familiar way, as in the way we're talking in the family. So actually, these three levels of language, they use three different ways of asking questions, and there's three methods of making questions. And the three levels of language in French, we're going to call them français poli, ou formel, ou soutenu. So formal French, français poli, polite French, nice French. Formel, formal, soutenu, sort of high level. Français courant, current spoken French, regular spoken French, and français parlé ou français familier, with our family, closest ones and friends. Alors, an interrogative construction is a grammatical form used to ask questions. There are two kinds of questions: yes-no questions and information questions. So-called yes-no questions may be answered with a simple yes or no, oui ou non. Okay. Are you a student at the University of Texas? Tu es étudiant à l'Université de Texas? Oui, non. Have you ever been to 6th Street or Barton Spring? Es-tu jamais allé à 6th Street ou Barton Springs? Oui ou non? Who, what, when, why, how? And cannot be answered with a yes or no question, with yes or no. Their purpose is to elicit a specific piece of information. Who is Tex? Qui est Tex? Where did he come from? D'où est-il venu? How did he learn French? Comment a-t-il appris le français? Do you speak French? Est-ce que vous parlez français? Est-ce que vous parlez français? Alors, so one way of asking questions is using the est-ce que structure, which is the formal language. Would make a formal question. Est-ce que vous parlez français? Est-ce que vous comprenez? Est-ce que vous aimez voyager? Do you like to travel? Est-ce que vous voulez parler français? Vous voulez apprendre le français? Do you want to learn French? Est-ce que vous êtes fatigué? Are you tired? Ainsi de suite, and so forth and so on. Besides using est-ce que, questions in French can be formed by inversion sujet-verbe. So now we're changing the position of the verb and the subject in the question sentence. In a regular sentence or proposition énunciative, the one ending with a full stop, right? I could say, tu parles français. You speak French. Tu, subject, parle, speak, français, French. Tu parles français. Now I want to make this a question. I can make it with the construction est-ce que, so I sound polite and formal. Est-ce que tu parles français? Okay, so nothing changes in front of the tu parles français structure, I put est-ce que and a question mark at the end, and maybe a little bit of raising intonation. Est-ce que tu parles français? But if I want to ask it in a more informal way, I will change the place of the subject with the verb. Parles-tu français? Okay, vous parlez anglais. If I want to make this a question, do you speak English? Parlez-vous anglais? So that's en version sujet-verbe. It's in itself pretty self-explanatory. It's exactly that. The subject and the verb change their place when asking the question from the before sentence. Formulating questions. The word do is used in English question formation. In similar fashion, French yes-no question can be formed with the phrase est-ce que. There are several other ways to ask a question in French. For instance, a tag question is a question word or phrase tagged on the end of the statement which requires a confirmation with yes or no. Vous parlez français, n'est-ce pas? Vous parlez français, n'est-ce pas? You speak French, don't you? Vous parlez français, n'est-ce pas? And another way of, which is gonna be the familiar way, the very relaxed way of asking a question, right? The most common way to ask a question in French conversation is to use rising intonation. What that means is that from the actual sentence, you're just gonna obviously change it graphically by putting the question mark and intonation-wise by raising the intonation a little bit. Let's say we have the sentence, vous parlez français. And I want to make this one a question. I'm just going to put the question mark at the end and raise the intonation a little bit. Vous parlez français? Vous parlez français? Tu parles français? Tu parles français? Okay. Review them. What are the 3 ways of asking questions? Est-ce que vous parlez français? Est-ce que vous habitez en Californie? Est-ce que vous aimez le café? En version sujet-verbe, parlez-vous français? Êtes-vous fatigué? Are you tired? Être fatigué. Êtes-vous fatigué? And raising intonation. Vous parlez français? Vous êtes fatigué? And another way of formulating yes-no questions is by using the end tag question, n'est-ce pas? Isn't it or don't you? Vous parlez français, n'est-ce pas? So one remark, just like in English, we can also ask a question in the negative form. I can ask somebody, you don't speak French, do you? And then it's also a yes or no question. But when we answer yes, we will not answer by using oui anymore. We'll answer by using si. Okay? So oui is the positive or the affirmative answer to a positive or affirmative question, whether it ends in the question tag n'est-ce pas or not, it doesn't matter. Si is the positive or affirmative answer to a negative question. Okay? Voilà, par exemple. Vous parlez français? Oui. Vous parlez français, n'est-ce pas? Oui. Vous ne parlez français. Vous ne parlez pas français. Ou vous ne parlez pas français? You don't speak French? Si, je parle français. Yes, I do speak French. Vous n'êtes pas américaine? You're not American, no? Si, je suis américaine. Yes, I'm American. Voilà. In français interactif, on chapter 2, you can actually go under yes no question. Est-ce que, n'est-ce pas? Right? So this right here only presents you the question with est-ce que and n'est-ce pas ending tag. But either way, I encourage you to do this practice. You can verify the answers at the end of the practice. Also, places with prepositions, and also continue the practice. And merci.